So, hey guys, Chauzu here. This is going to be a bit of an unusual video for me because in general I'm very positive towards the treasure map. I think it's one of the best modes in the game, probably the mode with the best rewards. And I do like the general gameplay loop of it. But today we're going to be complaining. Not only about recent additions, but also about stuff I've not liked for a long time. So basically me and some friends have just collected 50 things that I don't like or that I like to see changed. And since there's so many things, I can't talk a lot about all of them or this video gets really long. But I've divided them into 5 different categories. The first one is general stuff. And the first thing I like to note is that I like to improve treasure map for beginners. So like if beginners make a team, like they might not even understand stuff like this. So the game should just ask them, do you want us to make a team for you? Say yes, and then just maximize the highest boost because anything works in the East Blue. That will be great for beginners. Another thing that would be great for beginners is in the exchange, that like in Kizuna, we had discounted characters every month, and that discount also had like a 9 unit bundle you could buy. So you get 9 copies, maybe all of the limit break materials as well, so you can actually get a modern unit for very cheap, since the level limit break broken treasure map units are actually really good in general. I actually numbered them, so 3. I'd also like them to add back the intrusion battle to extra island like before the treasure maps. Recently we had the intrusion battle here, also known as the ambush, which was very nice. Not perfect though, it didn't have like all of the proper mechanics and stuff like that, so that would be nice if they could add. As point number 4 though, like just go all the way, not just intrusion. Let us test any treasure map battle ahead of time. Let's just have a try button or something. Let us see if our team works. Let us experiment against it ahead of time. And this will also solve some future complaints I have in this video. Number 5 is the booster list. Like in general, I do think they are better, but it's just very consistent. Mostly the free-to-play unit list in general, you're hugely awarded for owning a lot of treasure map legends, since they are always highly boosted and can often handle mechanics. But if you don't have them, you are dependent on like the free-to-play units like we have here, for example. And like this treasure map, we randomly got Nami, Robin and Bonnie boosted. That doesn't always happen. So yeah, I like them to make sure that all of the bosses work without having all of the latest units. Like some treasure maps, you might not have any good unit to remove 5 turns of death up, for example, and that just ruins the entire treasure map. Also, like the 5+ unit from Parking Adventures, I talked about it before, they get very small upgrades. This is point number 6, by the way. So I'd want them to make the 5+ a lot better or just revert this decision. Honestly, just revert it. This is one of the dumbest things they've done in recent times. A bit about the rewards. The rewards do stop at 10 million most of the time. In special occasions, they go on until 50 million. And personally, I like them to keep going maybe forever. Like just at regular intervals, get some reward for playing. Of course, the higher you go, the less impactful the reward should be. But stuff like some extra limit materials, stuff like that will be nice. Point 8, and if we do have 50 million rewards, give us an extra gold key. They did this before, but in the last treasure map we had, we did not get an extra gold key. And also add a few silver keys to rewards. That's my number 9. I need to make sure to always say the number. But yeah, that's my general complaints. Let's go into the maps. So let's start around here. I grinded up to a bonus map just so we can talk about some bonus map. Special map, special stuff. So yeah, this is a normal bonus map that we get every 5 nav levels, and not the special map that we get every 25 nav levels. And my first complaint, number 10, about maps is that all of the new maps sucks. Bonus map is not any different. We'll talk a bit about the particulars with that. And one way they suck is that they have confusing layouts. Like, I don't think I have to say that why here. Like, I think it's pretty obvious by looking, and this is not anything special compared to other maps we have now. Bento placement is bad. Like, we can see it here, like any route you take, you really can't get more than one bento. And the bento is not in any position where it's easier to get it, like right next to a decreased movement spot, for example. That really makes it easier to get a bento. So yeah, you're in general not getting that many bento. Number 12, the maps are too long. Like, there is no clear middle ground. Like, very few of the new maps have a good middle way to go, which is fast. But if you want to take the good route with good stuff you can get, they are way too long, should be shorter. And 13, too many variations. Like, this is the second trash map with the new variation, and I still don't really know right away, oh, it's this variation, it's this one, it's this one. There are too many. 14, speaking of maps sucking, most of them also have dead spots for no reason. You can see it here before Momo. Like, why are the 2 last spots dead? It's very common before the boss. Some maps even have 2 dead spots. No reason for that. Add something there. Can be a card, can be a spot, anything. And like on the rest of the map, there's literally no dead space, but just here in the end, it makes no sense. 15, and with that said, I want them to have more card spots in general. Like, there's way too many spots with points that basically do nothing. These should be very few overall. So instead of that, just add points. They can also really remove stuff like reduce CD or HP boost, attack boost, because you build teams that are reliable. You don't build teams that need these stuff. So they can just remove them, add more cards in general. So whatever route you take, you can get at least 1 card every nav level. And about the bonus bird, like here they are guaranteed since it's bonus map, but on normal maps they are not guaranteed. So I really want them to just decide. Either you always get the bonus bird, or you only get them for bonus map like before. Make the decision. And number 17, my personal opinion, just remove the bonus bird from normal maps, just keep them from bonus map and special map. But unlike before, where we tried this for a few months, just make the boost a lot bigger to make up for it, so you're not losing any points from not doing ambush only on bonus and special map, but instead you're just saving time, basically. Number 18, on the bonus map, which we are here, we're going to talk about these spots. The first reduced movement spot does -2 movement. Movement is very good. You're very likely to get a lot of the cards that are coming later. But if you hit a 1, 2, or 3 here and land on the second movement spot, that's a -1 movement spot. So you get it nerfed if you hit anything but a 4 and a 5. It's just dumb. It makes no sense. And it's not just on this side, it's the same thing on this side. So it's just a dumb decision. I have no way why it works like that. Number 19, same thing on special map, except there is like -3. And if you hit anything but a 5, you get the movement reduced again, but lower. But on the special map, at least you have cards you can reliably use. Like on the bonus map, you want to use the cards later, but on the special map, you can reliably use the cards to try and avoid those reduced movement cards if you hit the good one. Number 20, bonus map has no good route if you want to go for chests. Like, it's true, like, just look around. Like, no matter what route you take, like, you have a few here with Luffy, you have a few here, but like, no matter what route you take, you're not getting more than max 3, which is a lot lower than bonus maps of the past. And complaint number 21, special map also has no good route if you aim for chest, which you will have seen if you saw my Nav 24 playthrough where I tried to take another route. I had no idea where to go. So yeah, that was a big bummer personally. Next, let's talk about chests. We're mainly going to be talking about the rainbow chests, which are these ones, and the bonus chest, which is this one. And the bonus chest is of course only available on bonus map and special map. So we talk about rainbow chest first, which is this one. Small ink in rainbow chests. Been an issue for like a year. Just remove them. Nobody wants to get that. I also want them to add gold wanted posters to rainbow chests. This is wanted posters that let you increase the level limit break of rare recruits, free to play units, stuff like that. Would be very cool to have those in rainbow chests. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with rainbow chests, so let's focus on secret chests. And we're at number 24, by the way. I'm never going to say them reliably, so. I have a lot of complaints about this secret chest. First, this treasure map, they added small ink to the secret chest. Why? Remove it. Nobody wants to hit this one and get 5 small ink. Totally useless. And the secret chest drops are awful overall. They are heavily weighted towards low value tablets like the damage reduction tablets and other low tablets. Like I've got a few good ones like Hunger and such, but in general, way too many tablets. Like in this treasure map, I don't think I got a single wanted poster, which is insane. Number 26, I think it would be nice if they added limerick materials to this chest. And of course, if they do that, it will be very huge bundles. So it really feels like you won the lottery if you get them. Number 27, make wanted posters more common in secret chests. Definitely want that, more gold posters. You can even get the red wanted posters for legends. I got that myself once. Rate is probably too low. Should probably get at least one every treasure map on average, I'd say personally. Make the gold wanted posters drop at least 3 copies in the secret chest. That's number 28. So yeah, if you get a wanted poster here for rare recruits, you get at least 3, maybe 5. So it feels like you got very big value. And of course, then in a rainbow chest, you maybe get 1 only. Number 29, add various keys to the secret chest. We need more silver keys in general in the game. So it would be awesome to get maybe a gold key, treasure map key. Okay, treasure map key will not be cool, but good for beginners. And a silver key, like give us those. And that would really be a whoa moment, at least for me. Number 30, probably controversial. I like them to remove the rarest tablets from these secret chests. We're talking the alternate pen, we're talking the super tandem tablet, the final tap tablet, rush tablet, and you might wonder why nerf the game? Why do you want to do that? But for me, it's just a red herring. You're most likely not getting it ever in your time playing OPTC, but every time you hit it, you're thinking, what if this is the time when I get a super tandem tablet? No, it's not going to happen. And then you see someone else posting it and you're like, why can they get it and not me? And it's the same as like winning the lottery that we have every new year and stuff. Like it's not happening, someone is, but it's not going to be you. So just remove it altogether so we don't have to think about it. That said, let's move on to battles. I don't really have many complaints about mini bosses. I know others have. I will go into that later. But in terms of like mechanics of mini bosses, they are fine. I also think they need to be a bit careful about using revive. If we have too many revives, which we had this treasure map does get a lot slower and it feels like a slog. That was my number 31. 32 is about the intrusion battle, also known as ambush, which you get if you hit the bird. Basically, intrusion battle isn't guaranteed but likely, which means you run something to do a lot less damage if you miss it. So this is close to what I talked a bit before. You're likely to hit the bird, but not guaranteed. So if you don't hit it, suddenly you do a lot of less damage against the bosses, since the status quo is you have the bird boost, which we call it if you hit a bird and do more damage. So it's just unreliable, and sometimes you won't think and mess up. And sometimes you have to switch teams too soon, because you can use the team against when you have the bird boost, but not when you don't have it. So yeah, it's just a bit of annoying to me personally. 33, general lack of information about battles. We never know what happens if we stall a turn. This includes when we are forced to stall due to a revive or damage limiter. Sometimes they will add a small note about something that happens after a turn if you have to stall. I know once they said like, oh, then you get a death up or something like that. But we had cases where this isn't the case. And sometimes you just want to try and stall because you don't have anything to deal with the mechanic. You don't know what will happen. For example, I know I read someone who made a new strat for like the intrusion boss, stalling a turn, and then they got death up or something, which we don't know. Like if you knew that, maybe you could have made even better teams for the intrusion, for example. Number 34, stage 1 unreliability versus intrusion. Like versus intrusion, back in the day, we never get to do anything stage 1. We just moved on to stage 2. We got all specials max, for example. But nowadays they've started doing it so we can actually do stuff stage 1, like swap, for example. And for some teams, this is crucial for the team to work. So we basically don't know if teams work or not until we do the intrusion and see, can we do something stage 1 or do we start at stage 2? Number 35, stage 2 unreliability versus both intrusion and the main boss here in the end, Momo in this case. Like, now we have the issue instead of set HP, which I think is a great thing that they've started to do. Not all mini bosses go up in HP. We also have that with mini bosses, that sometimes we get harder mini boss and the stage 2 then usually don't go up in HP. But we don't know this until the treasure map starts. So for example, Momo's stage 2 in this treasure map does not go up in HP. Imagine if they did, that would be an actual nightmare, so that's great. But intrusion here, with the bird boost against Yamato, that stage goes up and it gets annoying really fast. So it would be nice to know this beforehand. 36, boss HP. Basically the HP scales a bit, so it gets higher every treasure map. But it always changes. The HP doesn't always start at the same value. It doesn't always go up the same values. This results in some treasure maps getting harder and some easier. We also have the fact that treasure maps are built around the batch basically, and sometimes the batch has like a conditional which greatly increases damage. Then usually they make it harder to kill the boss, higher HP and goes up higher. But if you don't have the batch, you maybe not have the conditional, so it gets harder very quickly, stuff like that. So just will be nice to have that info. Number 37, I guess this is about the mini bosses, but it's about the turtle defense, which keeps changing. Up until a few months ago, we never had to thought about it. Then Bandai got a brilliant idea to make the turtles have 500 times defense, so most specials don't kill it. And then this treasure map, thank you, they nerfed it a bit, 200 times defense now. So a lot of specials will kill, but not everyone, so just stop changing it. Would be good if they just reverted it. I'd be happy if it stays at the current one, but don't make it 500 times again. And most noteworthy, like, let us know beforehand what the actual defense is. Finally, we have 13 stuff left to cover, and it's going to be about the cards. I've been open before about not liking the cards, and if it's not for the cards, I probably wouldn't have made this video, but I have some complaints about the cards. Number 38, we have the 25 30% cards. Like, do I have to say anything more? 25% chance. Sometimes it feels like 0% chance, sometimes it feels like 50% chance, but yeah, it's just bad RNG. Like, it's not fun having those cards. You keep them to try and be optimal, but most of the time they will fail, and every fail feels awful. Number 39, make the base rate of the cards higher, should be below 50%. My opinion. I don't think many of you will disagree with that. Number 40, RNG in general, like we can get 75, 80% cards. I've seen 100% cards if you have like every unit pool. This is still highly unreliable and it just feels bad when it fails. Like, I failed so many 75% cards this treasure map, probably more than it has succeeded, which I know is super bad RNG, but it shows that it is RNG even if it's likely, so yeah, it's just one of the big issues with this system. Like, Maybe if they had it so we don't have that low rates, like even if you pool like on a bonus map or something, you at least get 90% rate cards. Those will so really fail it won't feel bad. And if you pool it gets 100%, like something like that would be cool. Number 31, having to pool full batch as well at the end of the month for the cards to get good enough to be bearable. So basically they tried to make end of month legends even more valuable by also being boosters in the treasure map to make it make the cards more successful basically. And yeah, you need to own so many units to get the cards to be perfect that it's a bit too much. Like usually it's enough to get treasure map badge. Now it's end of month legends. They might go even further in the future, who knows. Next complaint is about this menu. First on credit, last treasure map, if I pressed 1 we got to number 4, but now they've changed it so we get the card we press. So this is a shadow update we got, not mentioned in any notes. What I want to say is that number 42, swiping through the cards is way too slow. Like I think it should be faster than this. And on the same topic 43, like if I try to swipe with my finger, this might be an iPad issue. It's super unreliable. This happens a lot. I need to really swipe it through entirely. And even then it feels really clunky, so they really need to fix this. Another thing is about getting a card. Like let's just get a card for science. Doesn't matter if we get Yamato here. I'm not going to fight Yamato. Like I'm done playing the treasure map, and after this video I'm just going to collect the chest, see if I get anything good. So when Yamato comes now, we're just going to skip the battle. This also loses the bird boost, by the way. One interesting thing to note is that if I get a bird boost now, I do keep the bird boost without having any of the having to do the invasions. I don't get the extra stats, but I do get the extra points. So cool thing to keep in mind. But yeah, now when I get a card, I just realized I was very dumb and used a card. So let's see if I can get another card. Looks like I got punished for being dumb. Whatever. But basically my next point was that when you get a card, you have to throw a card away. And my point now, when we are at number 45, let us use the card we get instead of throwing it away. That will be really nice, thank you. It's probably one of the most annoying things, getting a card and you have full cards and you have to choose one to pick away, and I'm like, just let me use this card instead. But yeah. Number 46, I want to talk about the cards that let you defeat the mini bosses. We're talking about like the guns, cannons, slingshots, stuff like that. I'm going to read what I wrote. Having a lot of mini bosses is one of the biggest complaints of many people. Not me, but I know a lot of you guys hate the mini bosses. And it even got somewhat balanced with missing rewards and getting less points, because these cannons, slingshots and such, they actually really suck. You don't get extra drops from the bosses. You don't get any points. The only thing you save is time and effort. So I think it's balanced. So you should be able to use them a lot, but we can't because we don't get them. They should be a lot more common, have better effect, and basically have a low chance of failing to make it more of a status quo that you don't do 4 mini bosses every map. And that kind of ties into having more cards in general. These cards being common, these cards having in general really good effects even when not pulling. So basically every now level you don't have to do 4 mini bosses, you maybe do 3 or 2 or such. I think that would be a good change for many people. Number 48, nav skip cards will get you closer to the next bonus map special map. Let's say I use this one I got now, the sea charge card. Failed, classic, 55%, RNG by the way. But yeah, basically use that. The way I hope it will work is that like after this treasure map, I will have to do 4 more rounds to get to the bonus map. And I was hoping that these nav skip cards will get me closer to the next bonus map. That would be legit hype. Now they don't do that, which means they are basically useless for anything but the biggest grinders in the game, which feels like a big waste to me. Number 49, we have the Sea Cat card. When you turn your ship into a cat and get extra points, kind of like these points we can get. And it's just useless, like it takes extra time, you have extra animation every time you move, and the points you get are so low that it doesn't matter, it's like the worst card you can get. And they also made it super rare, see when you hit a gold card you can get a Sea Cat and get super disappointed. Number 50, the final point, gold cards should only include the most rare of cards. It's a classic to use a, say, 5 movement to guarantee the gold card. You hit the gold card, you get a 5 movement. Like, nobody gets happy by that. Just remove the movement, remove the killing bosses. This should be like nav level, Sea Cat, something special. And if you do get a Sea Cat, it should be a really good Sea Cat that gives an actual amount of points, and that will probably make people a lot more happy. So yeah, that's 50 complaints about Treasure Map. I don't know if I was clear or not, and don't expect videos like this often, but I know people often get annoyed that I always only talk good about the Treasure Map, but I have opinions about it like all others. The main reason I'm probably more vocally positive about the mode is that I feel I need to be a counterweight to all of the hate this mode gets, that in many ways it does not deserve. Like, you have to understand that for me it's a literal triggering to see a horrible mode like Kizuna that Panda just ignores, haven't upgraded in so long, and it's just heavily flawed. Always is more well regarded, and if people have more fun with it, great, but it should get criticized because it is heavily flawed. Not like, oh, Kizuna is so fun and Treasure Map is so bad. Like, at least recognize that Treasure Map is super good at what it does, and you can obviously argue for some improvements, but give Treasure Map the benefit it deserves, and you're fine to say, I think Kizuna is fun, but try and say the stuff about Kizuna is really bad. Not going to go into that in that video though, I talked about it before, and I will probably talk about it again. But yeah, that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.